Hey guys and gals, welcome to another drum lesson brought to you by Drums Anytime. Today's lesson is actually based on a lesson I gave a student recently that was interested in reggae drumming. His background is more jazz drumming, but he likes reggae music and he wanted to learn kind of the fundamentals, so I thought this would be a good subject for me to teach online. So the first thing I told him, of course, is you got to go out and listen to reggae music. So listen to as much Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Black Uhuru, Steel Pulse, Sly and Robbie. I'm sure I'm forgetting many, many more. But just start out listening to the music and kind of getting an idea of where they're coming from. But just like jazz, you have to have a foundation, right? So with jazz music, when you're starting to learn how to play jazz drums, you learn the basic jazz ride, right? And then you learn how to put 2 and 4 in the hi-hat. Then you learn how to be able to play notes with the kick drum against the ride and with the snare and all that independence. So the same thing works kind of with reggae drumming. So what I asked him to do was basically work on a few things. Um, First off, we're going to work on the kick drum pattern that's used in a lot of reggae music, and it's called the one drop. Uh, I consider the bass drum pattern as falling on beat 3. And what I mean by that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, this kind of thing, right? That's not the only pattern you're hearing reggae drumming, but it's a good way to start. Then the next thing that I wanted him to do, let me fix this thing, was to work on some different hi-hat variations. So the 4 hi-hat variations we're going to work on today is the first one is this, just eighth notes. One, right, nice and slow. Okay. And you notice he's accenting, or the pattern is accenting 2 and 4. 1, 2, and that mimics the skank of the guitar. Chick, chick, chick in reggae music, right? And that's what we're going to kind of focus on today, right? Chick, chick. Okay. So that's the first thing I want you to work on. Then the next is this hi-hat pattern. Notice the hi-hat still accented on 2 and 4, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick doesn't change. Okay, that's the next one. Then this one. It's kind of reverse of the last one, right? 1. Hi-hat still on 2 and 4. Okay? And then eighth notes. 1, 2. Right? Continuous eighth notes. Okay? Kick drum doesn't change. Okay? Then what you're going to do is, well, before we move on to the more complex pattern on the left hand, I just want you to play just kick drum and side stick fall together. I won't go through every hi-hat pattern, but you get the idea, right? So every hi-hat pattern, play side stick with a kick drum, right? Okay. So get comfortable with that. And that when we move to the next part, we're going to take rhythmic figures out of syncopation and play with the left hand these patterns against these different hi-hat patterns and kick drum on the 3. Okay, so now that you're comfortable with the last part of the lesson, we're going to add rhythmic figures from syncopation on the left hand. So if we look at the first one bar phrase, it's this, right? 1 and 2 and 3, 4. We're just going to transfer that pattern, okay? But of course, we're going to play the hi-hat patterns and the kick drum on 3. So the first one would sound like this. Let's see. Add the side stick, right? You notice that the accent is being played on the shoulder of the stick and the unaccent's on the tip. Tip, shoulder, 1, 2, 3, 4. Add that kick drum, okay? A little faster. Doesn't change, just the tempo. Right? Okay, so you probably know where I'm going with this. The next thing we're going to do is move on to the next hi-hat pattern. And we'll do this one. Let's see. 1, 2. Okay. same pattern. Sorry, same pattern with the left hand, right? Okay, right. So that kind of thing. And then this one, which is the hardest one for me. Oh, here we go. Right. So that do that, and then this one. This might be the hardest one for me. Let's see. Okay, so you get the idea. So that's just one rhythmic figure. There's obviously go in syncopation, right? And I'm always plugging this book, but this book right here is a great book because it's got a ton of these type of rhythmic figures, um, and just play different patterns with the left hand. But at first, just play side stick on three, but just work on the hi hat patterns, work them slow, play it along to reggae tunes, like pull up a reggae song and just play those grooves over reggae feels. Um, Spend some time on this. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks so much for stopping by. Until next time, have a good one.